have you ever heard the tale of Little Red Riding Hood? How about the boy who cried wolf? I'm guessing you must have come across these stories at some point in your life. They have been part of our culture for so long that most of us know them by heart. Well, here's one way to look at these famous tales. Once upon a time, there was a young girl who lived with her granny. She was so fond of wearing a red hooded cloak that everyone started calling her Little Red Riding Hood. One day she was requested by her mother to pay a visit to her granny, who had been feeling unwell. As she skipped through the woods, she came across a wolf who inquired about her destination. Little Red Riding Hood, being naive and innocent, told him that she was on her way to her grandmother's house. The wolf, who was hungry and looking for a meal, decided to go to the grandmother's house first and eat her up. On the way, he met Little Red Riding Hood again and asked her to gather some flowers for him. While she was gone, he went to the house, ate up the grandmother, and took her place in bed. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, she could not tell that it was the wolf in disguise. He tricked her into coming closer and then pounced on her. A woodcutter who had been hearing this commotion arrived just in time to save Little Red Riding Hood from being eaten up and chopped off the wolf's head. And thus, both Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother were saved. I'm sure you all know where this story is going. Obviously, the tale of Little Red Riding Hood teaches us that we should not trust strangers. But what if I told you that there is more to this story than meets the eye? What if I told you that it is a commentary on sexual education? You see, the wolf represents sexual desire, and Little Red Riding Hood represents a young girl who is not aware of the dangers that come with it. Her red hood symbolizes her femininity, and the fact that she skips through the woods shows that she is carefree and naive. When she meets the wolf, he asks her to take a shortcut through the forest, but she refuses and instead chooses to walk around. This shows that she is aware of her surroundings and does not want to put herself in danger. However, when they meet again, she agrees to pick flowers for him, which leads to her demise. This signifies that when young girls are not taught about sexual education, they become easy targets for those with bad intentions. And the woodcutter who arrives in time to save her can be seen as a symbol of awareness. He helps Little Red Riding Hood to see the danger she was in and guides her to safety. The story of the boy who cried wolf also has an interesting backstory. Once upon a time, there was a young shepherd boy who was in charge of watching his father's sheep. One day, he decided to play a trick on the villagers by shouting, "Wolf, wolf," hoping that they would come to his rescue. When they arrived, they found out that he had been lying and scolded him for wasting their time. He did it again a few days later, and again, the villagers fell for his trap. However, when a real wolf showed up, the boy started shouting for help, but no one came to his rescue. As a result, he lost his sheep and learned a valuable lesson. The story of the boy who cried wolf teaches us that if we lie too much, people will stop believing us, even when we are telling the truth. But what if I told you that there is more to this story than meets the eye? What if I told you that it is a commentary on the state of our society today? You see, the boy who cried wolf represents the media, which constantly bombards us with sensationalized stories that are not true. When the media lies to us, it is often for their own benefit or to gain more views and popularity. The villagers who come to the boy's rescue represent the general public who fall for the media's trap. When a real wolf shows up, it can be seen as a metaphor for a crisis or a problem that arises. However, because the boy had lied so many times before, no one came to his rescue, leaving him to deal with the situation on his own. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hello, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will be doing something a little different. We will be taking a look at some famous folktales and exploring their deeper meanings. Our first story is Little Red Riding Hood. Now, this is a story that most of us have heard at some point in our lives. It is the story of a young girl who goes to visit her grandmother, meets a wolf on the way, and then gets eaten up by him. However, this story has a deeper meaning that many of us do not realize. Let's take a closer look. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with images of what is considered beautiful and desirable. From a young age, we are taught to judge others based on their appearance and to conform to certain beauty standards. This can be harmful to our mental health and well-being, as it sets unrealistic expectations and can lead to low self-esteem and body image issues. The story of Little Red Riding Hood can be seen as a commentary on the dangers of judging others based on their appearance. At first, the girl seems innocent and harmless, but in reality, she is a cunning and manipulative individual who uses her looks to get what she wants. The wolf, on the other hand, is portrayed as a villain who is quick to judge and eager to devour the girl. However, As the story progresses, we learn that the wolf is actually the one who is being manipulated. The girl uses her charm and good looks to trick the wolf and ultimately gets away with her plan. This story teaches us that we should not judge others based on their appearance, as we may be fooled by what we see. It also reminds us to be aware of those who may try to manipulate us with their looks, and to be cautious of those who seem too good to be true. Next, we have the story of the boy who cried wolf. This is the story of a young boy who was in charge of watching his father's sheep. To pass the time, he started playing a trick on the villagers by pretending that a wolf was attacking his sheep. The villagers, worried for the boy and the sheep, rushed to his aid, only to find out that he had been lying. The boy continued to do this until a real wolf showed up and started attacking his sheep. When he cried out for help, the villagers, angry at being deceived, ignored him, and his sheep were lost. This story is a cautionary tale that teaches us the importance of honesty and the consequences of lying. But what if we look at this story from a different perspective? In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with news and information from various sources. It can be difficult to determine what is real and what is fake. Some people intentionally spread fake news and rumors to gain attention or cause harm to others. This can create confusion and distrust among the general public, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. The story of the boy who cried wolf can be seen as a metaphor for the spread of fake news and the importance of being discerning consumers of information. Just like the boy who cried wolf, those who spread fake news and rumors are crying wolf. When a real crisis or problem arises, it can be difficult for people to take action, because they have become desensitized to the constant barrage of fake news. It is important to be critical of the information we consume and to verify it before sharing it with others. By doing so, we can help prevent the spread of fake news and ensure that we are making informed decisions. In conclusion, folktales are a rich source of wisdom and life lessons. They have been passed down for generations, and their timeless messages continue to resonate with people of all ages. From The Boy Who Cried Wolf to Little Red Riding Hood, these stories teach us valuable lessons about honesty, the dangers of judging others, and the importance of being aware of us. By understanding the deeper meanings hidden within these tales, we can apply their wisdom to our everyday lives and become better individuals. What are your thoughts on these? Do you see any other meanings or messages in them? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.